and just place some new buildings, it's just something. It's an agenda behind this shit. It's to destroy and rebuild. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about money. And you can imagine it. Malik Spellman calling in right now. Matter of fact, I'm gonna answer on my phone. I'll do that. Peace, brother. How you doing?
Fine, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm live right now. We've been talking for a minute, but the floor is yours, brother. Whatever you gotta say, you just go right in.
Oh shit, it's an open end question with me, man. Tell me exactly what it is that y'all are missing out on as far as the Cali is concerned. I'm gonna fill in the blanks.
All right. Well, we was talking about when me and you were speaking earlier, and you kind of forgot the people's name. You talking about Reskin, right? The Reskin family, the one that owns 60% of the water supply over there.
Right, I don't remember what their name is, but they own the water thing. And Gavin Newsom and his auntie Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, whatever she is, they monopolize the water. We got so much water because this is Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
But they monopolize it in such a way that they starving out the farmers. They starving out the people like myself that own ranch land. They want you to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars for shit that, and it's just too much, man. Like Trump told him in his last term, get off the private citizens' land. Go mess with the lakes, the parks, the oceans. That's the government. So if you live in down south or in the country or something, most people in the south, they get on their tractor, they go cut their grass, they do that. But what happens in California, they monopolize and they fleece America, meaning the fleecing of America go like this. What they do is they'll let the grass grow. They don't let nobody cut it because they want to charge me $16,000 to cut my ranch, just one of them. Right. They let the grass grow. Then when they get the grass grow, they charge you to get it cut. And then what happens is fires start naturally in any area that's had indigenous people on it before. Naturally, through lightning, through mistakes, through arsonists. So every year you're going to have a fire. So what they do that, then they tap into the federal budget for the firefighting budget, and then they fleece all the money out of it, steal all the money out of it, and then they repeat this process every year. And the excuse they use is, oh, we got have no discretion.
That shit is going quick.
It's a company called Palisade. They pulled the same move in Hawaii. They pulled the same move in Oklahoma. They pulled the same move with the Black Wall Street. They pulled the same move with the people in Atlanta that's got that Lake Lanier or whatever it is.
Right.
They buried them people in the water.
Right.
They hold Tampa. Black lightning, Jewish lightning, Chinese lightning. So they don't have no discrimination. So what you see is that they're marginalizing people, but the plot that they had in place, the flames of the wind, God had another plan. This fire is the equivalent of Sodom and Gomorrah burning down. Name a car and it's burnt up. Name an amount of cash and it's been burnt. Names a Picasso, a Rembrandt, a painting, a diamond. God spake, and let's stop right here. Yeah, this is my philosophy. It has nothing to do with you or your sponsors. But God put an ass whooping on them people. Now all of them intense. Like these other 60,000 black people walking around Los Angeles. Crazy and shit on themselves. Intense. 1.4% of black people live in Palisades. 1.4. One brother's house out there in Palisades was on fire. He says his house with water bottles. He the only nigga on the streets and he the only house to survive. So the spirit of that fire came from our ancestors, unfortunately. So what they did, the adjacent little city next door, Pasadena and San Gabriel Mountains and all that, somehow or another that wind went over there. But the brother that got killed over there in the fire, Mr. Nickerson's, for your listeners to Google it, he's the one that developed the Nickerson Garden Housing Projects where all the Damu brothers live. So you got to pay attention to what's going on. A lot of people been living comfortable, too, off of black folks. A lot.
Right.
So Hollywood is going to be slow. So your podcast is going to be major because now they have to have some place for information. So it was a plan, and they plotted and planned, but God also planned, and he's the best of planners. So they plotted and planned and burnt their own shit. You understand this, bro? These people got $20 million, $50 million homes. Beyonce's mama.
Right.
Homes. And Chris Brown said it best. Somebody starting these fires. One year we had one start, and they found out it was the fireman. A fireman.
See, and that's the thing. I really feel like because many people can look at it in multiple ways. Who you think most is going to benefit from this out there?
BlackRock.
Yeah, because they buy up everything, hike the prices up, or destroy it and build, and build it up and stuff.
They don't do that. They own all the mortgages.
Right.
They'll sell your mortgage to Walmart for $50 million. You know what I mean? They don't care about that. BlackRock, see, it's principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. High places.
Right.
And how is it that this thing can set off the mayor? She breaks north to
Ghana.
Okay, I helped put the sister in office. She started out as an intervention. She started out as an activist with us, side by side.
Wow. Karen Bass.
Her daughter died. Her daughter got killed in an accident or something. Or one of them moves happened. Rolled off a cliff in a car. A couple of sisters that was in high places, their daughters rolled off the cliff. Don't quote me on it, but I think something like that happened. But for the most part, the blacks in California is probably the wealthiest blacks in America, right? And what we do moves the world. And when there's a crisis in the world, it don't become important until we get it. Because we're here with the cameras, the news, the Hollywood. So brothers and sisters in Tennessee, Alabama, New Orleans, them little bitty 10th Market joints, they don't really have a voice. They can't go to the local sheriff and say, fuck you, like we can. Because the sheriff is a deep state sheriff. That's why Trump getting rid of all that deep state shit, because them people is like this. We with you while we with you, but when we're away, we with our friends. So it's dark money. We do what the fuck we want to do. We don't care what the government say. We lock up niggas down here for weed. That type of shit. Deep state. So you got to break up that deep state shit. You have to. Because if not, it's going to be the same old program.
Do you think Trump is going to dismantle it, or probably?
That's already on day one. You got to dismantle the deep state. That's how you control. Then you got to break up Washington and send other officers down the street. You can't have everybody clustered into one, because at the top of that food chain is going to be somebody that's got their own agenda. Then America got another problem. It's called UFOs, especially in California. And from what I heard, don't quote me on it, hey, that one of them might have set something on fire. We got real UFOs, because I've seen them with my own eyes 500 feet above my head. Like looking at a plane landing at LAX. And that's on the glorious Quran. It was quiet with a vapor ring around it.
I believe in them too. I believe. But they say if you, even in your mind, like if you really want to see them, just like show yourself like in the sky or something like that, and they can hear what you saying in your mind. So if you ask to see them, and you look up in that sky long enough, or outside your window long enough, or whatever, you might see something. And I dare not to do that. I already got gray hair.
Let me tell you something.
My hair would be orange. But go ahead, brother.
If I wasn't a Muslim, when I seen it, I would have been worshiping UFOs. It is the most beautiful phenomenon that you will ever see in your lifetime. Just remember this. God, Allah, Jesus Christ, Buddha, whatever you want to call him, Tookie Williams, Allah is Lord of the world. You can take a handful of dirt right now at your yard, and it's 50 different insects in that motherfucker that you know nothing about. Just one handful. Mites, termites, worms, ants. God is Lord of the world. There's 187 billion or more galaxies.
Right.
So don't be surprised when you see shit that you're not familiar with.
And since we on there, I just want to say this. So I always want to say this, and I understand it. How people, how the media, movies, they tell us, or indoctrinate us to be scared of UFOs. If they really wanted to destroy this planet and this world here, they would have been done it. They would, you know what I mean? They'd have been all over the place. Just, you know what I mean? I think if they need to save us, nigga, please do. And they say they black too, but save us, goddamn it, okay? Because the ones that's in control, they need to evaporate them niggas, and I mean the lineage too. In one snap of a long ass finger.
There's two beings that's from outer space visiting this planet. There's the Anunnaki, and then there's the Greys. The Greys represent Yaku, who grafted the devil. Yaku was a black man who made Caucasians. It's a known fact. White people don't want to reveal the secret because they are really the aliens of the planet. They have no natural origin. No one is that evil. No one puts people into slavery. No one will drop an atomic bomb on people. No one will do some of the commit some of the atrocities that they have committed in this world that's documented. I'm not making this up. I'm not hating on them. I don't give a fuck if they think so or not. The reality is they are not from this planet. Human beings don't act like that. Human beings don't do what they do. The oppressors, not the followers, the oppressors, not the oppressed, the oppressors. The Bidens, the Trumps, the Obamas, the Bushes. These people are not human. I'm going to ask you one question.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever seen the Queen of England, George Bush, the Pope, Obama,
some fiction,
people eating a meal?
Oh, shit.
I'll wait.
As far as my recollection, I ain't seen him eat a nothing.
No, let me wait. Now I'm gonna wait for you. So I want you and your audience to think about it. Have you ever seen the Queen of England put a morsel in her mouth?
But I heard they eat children and go ahead.
Okay. They eat hummingbird hearts and other fine parts. I'm gonna leave it at that. You have never seen the Pope put none in his mouth but a dick.
Oh shit. Yeah. So you believe that they're not from this planet?
It's not that I don't believe it, they believe it. It's unbelievable to me because I didn't think human beings can do people like that. I'm still in shock and awe. It's not for me to believe or unbelieve. It's their nature. See, white people don't hate you because you black. Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Chinamen, name it, Vietnamese, Filipinos, they don't hate black men because they black. Nigga, they hate you because they in fear of genetic annihilation.
That's right.
Black man, Chinese broad, black baby.
Yeah.
So that's why every time the police get you, first thing you want to do is touch your dick. Get against the wall, grab your meat. First thing a white woman want to do, and I'm speaking to adults right now.
Right. That's why I ain't say pause. That's why I ain't say pause. We adults.
The first thing a white woman want to do, a white bitch, when you're having sex with her, first thing she want to do is drink your babies.
Hey, I ain't got a problem with that. I got a lot of kids in liquid form. So, but continue.
I mean, I'm the king of putting throat babies on a bitch. But I was in the street. Them niggas ain't invented that song. I'm a real OG, and I'm going to tell you again, I can't sugarcoat these motherfucking Frosted Flakes for you, baby.
Right.
This ain't no disrespect to nobody. This might be new information that sound a bit abstract, but I can only tell you like I smell you, homie. That's why you see everybody on the internet now, from Africans all the way up, apologizing to the black man and American woman, because they know that when the motherfucking shit come down to it, the white man took the best out of Africa. If you break in a nigga house, you ain't gonna take the DV over no bar gold.
Right.
He went to Africa and got all the tall niggas and made a basketball team and left. He went and got the scientists, the doctors, the theologians, the chiefs, the smart motherfuckers. And left the rest behind. And they're the ones sold us out.
Matters first. I wanted to introduce.
That's a fact. That's definitely a fact. Um, and while we was talking earlier and about oh my God, Gavin Newsom and how you said that everything starts in California. And that's a great point because that's when they started the California the reparations task force out there, and you see what happened to that. Can you go a little bit into that?
Well, I can give it to you raw and fast. Dude that we put in charge of the reparations task force, his house burnt down past the ashes the other day.
Mm.
David Woods, the actor, his shit, he was out there crying.
Mm.
Okay. Then you got a lot of rappers on the air that y'all probably ain't seen out there talking about they don't have fire insurance, but nigga, you got 40-inch rims on your car.
Mm.
Who told your stupid ass to go out there with them white folks and buy a $12 million house and your taxes every 365 days is $1.2 million?
Mm.
And you ain't selling no records. Beyonce, what you gonna do with a $127 million house that's in jeopardy of getting into a fire? But you could have went and bought half of Adelanto, the desert, and built your own oasis. Who advising you guys? Who? Because we don't have no black tech companies, no black airlines, no satellites in space, no Mr. Black Tesla. And we invented every motherfucking thing, from the keyboard to the satellite to a burglar alarm. Did you know the black woman invented the burglar alarm?
Absolutely. That's right.
Did you know the black man invented the typewriter, the keypad that you use for your computer, the super soaker, dude that made that super soaker? Do you know he invented the hybrid battery for the Toyota?
Mm.
What do I need to tell you about this game of chess or the fork and the knife? We taught these motherfuckers civilization, bro.
That's a fact. And that's the thing they hate to acknowledge because and they know it's true. But go ahead.
But we don't give a fuck if they acknowledge it or not because truth stands clear from error. And when truth becomes falsehood vanishes, and falsehood is forever a vanishing thing. So we don't give a fuck if a nigga left. You saying this is not our position. I'm like Nipsey Hussle. The marathon continues, but the difference between a person that understands the marathon and a person that understands the victory is in the marathon, you running, you drinking water, you spraining your ankle, they throwing you towels, you waving at the babies and some more shit, you passing out. But if you in the victory lap like Nip was, that's something totally different.
Right.
We're in the victory lap. Putin said Jesus was black. Elon Musk showed a Bible showing Jesus was black. What do we need to do to convince these people that y'all been disrespecting the truth all this time? And what excuse can you give God on the day of judgment for the treatment that you did to black people? That's what John F. Kennedy once said. He's not the first president. I think I've quoted this on your show. And I want your audience to Google it. He said, what if we die and go before God and we treated the black man and woman black in America and we go before God and he's black? What if? What did Kennedy know that we didn't know with his high Mason ass?
Because they know. They know it's real.
They know the black man is God and Allah is Lord of the world. So the point is this. These fires came from, they just had, what award show they just had recently? Not the Oscars, the Emmys, or some other shit. They just had it right before the fires. Golden Globes.
Oh, Golden Globes. Got you.
Okay, now go look at the Golden Globes, or go to my page, Malik Spellman, and you'll probably see it. They was in there. They had a game thing up like Family Feud, and it said such and such actor 10, and then stuck for the law said at the bottom, and God 0, and they laughed and giggled. It was blasphemy.
Right. You know what? I'm glad you said that because I it was the white lady speaking or something like that. I never clicked on it, but I looked at the caption. Like they really try to down guard. But go ahead, sir. I appreciate that.
So Brazil tried that shit and went under. And then one year they tried to do Ramadan, gay parade during Ramadan, and this motherfucker was under. So what's gonna happen in California next? Because I'm good at prognosticating shit. I prognosticated our earthquake. We're gonna have a tsunami out here. And you can say say you heard it here, right here on your show first. It's going to be a tsunami in 2025, or the bell going to go off in California. The Palos Verde Mountains is suffering from vertical waves, VMs. They got the niggas on FM, Sexy Red, the truckers on AM, and then the fools that's just out here gone in their head, walking on the freeway, setting themselves on fire, all that crazy shit. Them microwave motherfuckers. They in 5G, 10G. So if you don't understand the science, it's like, man, this old nigga, shut the fuck up. Well, stop listening, stupid, because you got 2 ears to listen twice as much in one mouth. And I'm 64 plus, and I'll take your bitch.
Talk your shit, OG.
And I'll beat you up in front of your bitch. And walk your kids to school, nigga, because I love you for real.
Shit. Sidebar, right? What? I mean, I'm gonna put you on the spot. What's your thoughts about the people in LA as far as what's going to happen with the deportation? I'm being light about that. But what is your thoughts about that situation?
Be more specific.
Okay. Well, the legal immigrants that came here and they got all the benefits and so on. And now most of them, not all, because some is probably still going to be here or whatnot. What's your thoughts about the deportation once Trump get in office? Do you think? All right, here's the question: do you think that they deserve to have came here illegally and took all our benefits? And go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. What's the other part of your question?
And what's your thoughts about the deportation?
Well, first and foremost, let me keep it real in the field. First, no white man on the planet has a right to evict nobody off of nothing. Okay? And the Indians and the Mexicans wasn't here before the black man. The closest city
it was captured
in Africa in California would be Oakland or Bakersfield or some shit like that. All right? That's the closest city. When the black man, when a white man came here and found the indigenous people, the Indians, the Aztecs, the Cherokees, and all them folks, they was like, hey, man, y'all got these spears. Yeah, we do. And y'all got gold tips on them. He said, where'd you get them gold tips from? He said, shit, we got it from the niggas when we got here.
That's right. That was actually in Christopher Weber, his real name. It was in his diary. Exactly what you just said. Exactly what you just said.
I'm not going to lie to you or your audience. I respect and love y'all too much. Right. So my point is this, is that's the first thing I have to establish. Second of all, I cannot watch my people die, suffer on Skid Row, shitting on themselves, lost their houses because of the housing crisis with Obama, and then a lot of people that we got in LA is still Katrina victims.
Right.
And then Medea shitting on herself at the bus stop. So as far as they concerned, I got to be more concerned with my own people's fate. Now the people that's getting deported, whether they be Mexicans, Chinese, Russians, Armenians, Jews, Gentiles, Africans, you motherfuckers been here eating. Y'all ain't did shit for us. Y'all don't fuck with us. Y'all don't hire us. Y'all look at us like animals. Y'all watch how people eating out the trash. You Arab niggas running up and down the streets with Lamborghini trucks, gold, and you frowning your nose up on us. So I don't really have no opinion about what they do to a motherfucker because I'm already trying to worry about what Whitey doing to us. But I feel sorry for the children, always.
Right.
But the ones that's like fuck mayates and the Chinamen in the neighborhood that don't hire no blacks and the Arab niggas serving motherfuckers pork and liquor, man, fuck you. We have no more sympathy left for each other. How the fuck we gonna feel sorry for anybody else? Under some shit that we have no control over. They might deport our ass.
Okay, they probably mistake us for them. I'm like, look, man, you know what I mean? My papers is right.
They deport us to prison. That's what we go to. We go to prison and to the graveyard. So they got to get some of them people out the way before they wake up and realize that they black and then go on and finish whooping our ass.
Yeah, because we like 60 years away from civil rights and stuff like that, and how technology has taken over, how the minds of the people has learned more, and the more conscious that we have, the more broader thinking of the technology. They can't really stop our voice because we have the internet, so they try to censor a lot of things. So a lot of exposure, them getting exposed. So they have their think takes, their master, brilliant, evil, genius minds, and they think on strategies on how to control the people, like the Georgia Guidestones. We have to maintain the world at 500 million, even though it's like 7.8 billion people on the planet. So I think that they planning to really do a massive reset and a massive murder.
No, brother, what is going on is an extension of Margaret Sanger, who invented the abortion pill and then had children. Evil bitch, got an award from Hitler.
Yeah.
Then you got to remember the word eugenics.
Yeah.
So if you learn what the word eugenics is, then you'll fully understand what the process is. They're not getting ready to do shit. They're already doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Any nigga that's thinking about they're gonna do something to us,
they already doing
they got
it.
you under control for 400 years. You're like the elephant tied to a fucking fence, and the slave master untied your stupid ass, and you just stood there because you thought you were still tied up. I do it to my dogs every day. So that's how the black man in America is, and the indigenous people of America is, and the poor whites is that we have a tendency to stay chained up because he that controls your thinking controls your movement. So I know this is some old nigga philosophical shit, but stick around, motherfucker, because one day it's gonna kick in like a Ferrari gear. Because it's gonna be compounded with your own personal life experiences.
Facts. Now I'm gonna ask you one last question, and I want you to give me your thoughts about it, and you could close out on and to say anything that's on your heart and your mind. But what's your take on the FBA situation? Have you heard of the FBA situation? What's your thoughts on that? And the Fat Joe situation. What's your thoughts on that?
First of all, the FBA thing is cool as an acronym and as an action if it's put into action and school of thought, and I salute anything that they're doing with that.
Mm-hmm.
But to give that type of energy to a person that don't know he's free can be to a disadvantage. And the fact that we're not freed black Americans, we're just free. We don't have to put no title on us. We don't see the niggas saying we got free hamburgers handed out. No, we just black people. That's it. Indigenous, the tribe of Shabazz. We're the real. We got to stop saying we're African American. How the fuck you gonna be two countries at one time?
Exactly, because I damn sure don't like that shit.
You don't see no Jewish person running around talking about I'm Israeli American. Mm-hmm. No, you don't. You don't see no Greek nigga running around I'm Greek American. No. They said I'm Indian. I'm Jewish. And you don't see nobody running around talking about I'm Puerto Rican. Nigga, you're not an island. Stop letting the Queen nationalize your stupid ass. Stop. And remember, all the wars that's taking place in the world right now ain't got nothing to do with people of color. That's all white people. Mm-hmm. Trump fighting with them other crackers, they ain't got nothing to do with us. When I was in a penitentiary, when two white gangs didn't get along, you know what we did? We sat back and watched and regroup, press reset, because we're on a different tactical frequency than them. Mm-hmm. But you got these Negroes talking about which plantation is the best. I'm on Plantation Democrat. I'm with the old Plantation Trump. I'm on Capitol Records. I'm on Interscope. I'm on YouTube. I'm on, the nigga, shut up. You on another plantation. I'm on Instagram. You're on a plantation, fool. But if you spend as many hours on that you spend on Instagram studying for that law degree or for that medical degree, you'd be a scientist.
But do you what's your thoughts on like Busta Rhymes and these immigrant people respectfully, that try to revise the Black American history and try to minimize our creation in hip hop. I'm pretty sure that you aware of that situation. What's your thoughts on that? And Fat Joe.
Well, first of all, it's mathematically impossible to substitute our existence. Before us there was none, and after us there'll be no more. Second of all, I'm a native New Yorker. Mm-hmm. And the fact of the matter being, I was one of them young niggas that was breakdancing in Times Square on a piece of cardboard when rap first came out with the Sugar Hill Gang on the radio. I was in the parks when DJ Bambaataa and going uptown to Harlem World and shit like that. Fat Joe. If Puerto Ricans, which majority of them are black people who come from Africa, we talking about American black Puerto Ricans. If Puerto Ricans invented rap, why in the fuck y'all ain't the king of rap right now? Bob Marley was the king of reggae. Bob Marley's the king now. If they did all this, then why y'all not at the top of the Grammys and all that shit? That's not the proof. I was there. Do you know what the Puerto Ricans did?
What?
The Puerto Ricans' daddies was the supers of the buildings and the parks. And the Puerto Ricans, like they do all migrants over black people in America. Because I was in New York when the first Cubans came from Florida. I went to Florida, and I was there when the first Colombian families came. And we never heard of Mexicans in our life.
Right. Me neither.
Okay.
It was only Puerto Ricans and Cubans and stuff. Go ahead, brother.
Dominicans and Costa Ricans and shit like that. Yeah. So my point is, they daddies was always the supers of the building, which is the managers of the building, the landlords, the niggas that make this dude. And they was always in the parks, and they had resources because they had big families. Remember, our families was torn apart through slavery, so we didn't have them super big families like they did in one apartment for 5 generations. They was able to go get electricity and maybe had some DJ equipment. That's what the fuck they did. And niggas played basketball. The cute girls sat on the bench with their face greased up.
Yep.
And they had braiding hair, doing shit. We had one dude in the neighborhood we would call a punk or fruity because he hung with the girls. And we had the other niggas that was slam dunking. Then we had one dude that could fight that had the prettiest bitch on the block. But the Puerto Rican dude did nothing but the electricity to set the wires up to the fucking pole to run electricity for the DJ shit. And once in a while, he might have spent a record or two. They didn't invent rap, people. My mother's Puerto Rican. Her last name is Casiano. You can't tell me shit about Puerto Rico. Me and my son just left from there. Okay? I done ate panadas and all that pasteles, so you can't tell me shit about being Puerto Rican. My father's Puerto Rican, 100%.
I didn't even know that. That's what's up, though. But go ahead.
So what I'm telling these people is that black people's experiences and the shit that they was going through is the first rap. Dolomite was the first rap. Okay. Richard Pryor,
Nipsey Russell,
Flip Wilson, Nipsey Hussle or Russell.
Nipsey Russell.
Them dudes were the first raps. Then you had them sisters, Sarah Vaughn's and all them that was popping. And then them jazz dudes, Ron Carter and snapping their fingers and shit. Stop it up. I heard Bill Cosby say once before, and I don't listen to Bill. And Bill said, the people from downtown come uptown, see the people uptown is doing, and then go back downtown and say they invented it.
That's a fact. Yep. I just it just seems like when we finally define who we are as a culture, everybody feels excluded because our truth shatters their lives, and we've been quiet for too long. So now people are getting their feelings hurt. It's not on purpose, but if we are people that y'all say that has no culture, y'all ain't this, y'all ain't that, this, that, and the third, and then we finally like, you know what, it's been too long enough, and now we expose the truth, and now our truths expose your lies and excludes you from certain creations of culture, especially in New York and around this United States. They feel like we're being hateful, we're being divisive. No, it's just that a room full of lies can't live in a room full of truth. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
First of all, beloved,
mm-hmm.
I would like to ask those people, how would you feel if everything that you created to civilization was stolen from you? How would you feel? You guys are putting up a fake protest for some shit that you claiming that you see. It's a lot of people that's professional extrapolators and organizers. They profess to have fought battles that they never fought and wars they've never won. So when the real landlord come home to take his apartment and you a squatter and he tell you get the fuck out, this is my house, of course you're offended. But I have one rhetorical question for your audience, not you.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever gave a fuck when black people felt offended or left out?
Mm.
So why is everybody taking advantage of our sympathy for humanity? Every time they want to play the sympathy card with us, it's like, y'all ain't right. Motherfucker, keep rap, Puerto Rico, fat ass Joe. Keep that. Okay? Because you got over 10,000 pair of shoes in one warehouse or two, and his babies in the Bronx ain't got no shoes. So I understand you, Fat Joe. But let me ask you a question, Fat Joe. I want to ask you this personally. When the last time you sold a motherfucking record?
And he just did that album. That shit went double doo-doo.
So where's Big Pun's money? For his wife and his children? Where that's at? Oh, okay.
Have you ever met Fat Joe before?
I don't fuck with high calorie niggas.
What you mean by that?
Niggas that's fat niggas. I don't call them fat niggas. I just call them high calories.
Oh shit.
High calorie intake niggas. I ain't got no time for this shit. If you don't love yourself, what the fuck I'm gonna fuck with you for? Now, if you at a certain weight and you comfortable, then you a good person, that's your business. But if you a fat nigga and you sour nigga, I don't fuck with grapefruits.
Let me ask you this question now, because in the 70s, when the influx of Puerto Ricans and Hispanics that came into and Caribbeans that came into New York City, culturally, what did we take from them? Because I feel like, and I know, and I even feel that when they came here, they had to adapt to the dominant culture, which was our culture. They didn't come over here with the style. They came over here the way they dress. It just wasn't our taste. And for y'all to get down with us, y'all got to change your way of dressing. You can't hang with us if you looking like that. You know what I'm saying?
First of all, when they first got here, the ones that went through Ellis Island, through the Statue of Liberty and all that shit, the white man tell them, don't fuck with niggas. Open a business in their neighborhood. Don't hire them and watch them. That's the first thing. Okay? If you notice, all the people that came from Ukraine as migrants, all the people that came from Russia, Palestine, Gaza Strip. I live in Los Angeles. How many of them people you think they sent to Watts? None. They go to Beverly Hills, Palisades, shit like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But they on welfare. How many of them Palestinians is walking around in Brooklyn right now? If they do, they got a business. The Mexicans, the Salvadorians, and the Venezuelans in New York, they ain't been here 2 years, and 90% of them got businesses. If it ain't nothing but on the sidewalk, because they get what you call preferential treatment. Just don't let you touch it. And the gatekeeper niggas, the Magic Johnsons and all these different Maxine Waters and Obamas and Kamalas, Scanless, and all of the black caucus and the black Caucasians, their job is to hold you back. That's their job. That's why when you look at their pictures, they all fat ankles and fat faces. But it's not the kind of fat from being healthy or having an issue, it's just greed. So when you see a nigga like Magic Johnson, he got one son, but Allah make him a faggot. That's a curse. When you see the other nigga daughter running around talking about she a female, because they gatekeepers, man. And Oprah, where your man at?
Yeah, but and then it's like she got no kids, and where's that inheritance gonna go to? A fucking cat, her dog? You know it's gonna go to some.
Oprah got houses that cost hundreds of millions that she never even been in.
Word.
And nobody stays there. Do you know what the last words of the nigga that was the devil worshiping nigga that just died?
Oh
Look
my
it
God.
up. Aiden or some shit.
Oh shit. I haven't. I'm looking at his face literally right now.
Leary or some. That
Oh
nigga say,
go
"Oh
ahead.
my gosh, I fucked up." Basically, what have I done so wrong?
Right.
Look up the last words of motherfuckers that was in them high places when they check out. Michael Jackson said, "Give me some more milk."
That's what he
Another
said?
cracker said, "That's what he said. Give me some more milk." Those are his last words.
God damn.
One white boy said, "The fire, the fire, the fire." You better build your spiritual bank up. And my advice to your audience and to you and to my damn self is this is what you tell motherfuckers that be hating you or agitating you. Motherfucker, don't hate me because I'm prayed up.
Facts.
That's the only reason you hate me. Your fangs is hanging out your fucking mouth. And remember, audience, all your friends eat shit and bark at the moon. Ain't no such thing as no fucking friend. Get your own, stay your own.
Something LeVay. Allerton LeVay. I don't know. It's still plaguing my mind right now.
That's him. That's him.
Yeah. Yep. Ain't everybody...
Look up the last words of all them devil worshiping niggas. And then that one devil worshiping bitch that be around Usher and all them, she got the black fingers, the little fashion bra.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh,
you need to do a whole segment on her.
Yeah, that's an evil bitch. All the stars be around her, Rihanna, everybody around her. And
all out there in Palisades, Calabasas. When you go out there, you don't see churches. You know what you see? Fortune-telling joints. They all in the witchcraft out there, bro. Kabbalahs and all that shit. Yeah. So God gave them what they wanted. He gave them fire.
I know motherfuckers told you some stories. Can we get, you know what I mean? Alleged story. Can you give us some alleged stories? And you don't have to. It could just be one.
Alleged stories in what category?
What you was just speaking about. You know that witchcraft, Satanism shit that goes on in Hollywood.
All you got to do is look at. First of all, you don't get in the $100 million club unless you do something strange for a little change. Let me tell you how Hollywood work. If you ain't fucked something, took some drugs, signed a contract, plotted on somebody, or had sex by 12 o'clock, you're not in Hollywood. You're on the outside of the club looking in. That's the first thing. Second thing is, you don't get up Jacob's ladder like that, nigga, unless you're part of this satanic cult. End of story. That's why I'm not at the top. You don't get there unless you're part of their shit. Like the nigga that knocked the broad from, what's the broad's name? They got the rich families. Everybody be talking about the
Kardashians.
The Rothschilds.
Oh, the Rothschilds.
They ain't got no money.
Rothschilds.
The Rothschilds, the Kardashians ain't got no bread.
Yeah, not compared to the Rothschilds. What's the name?
Not compared to nothing. That's not cash. They went downtown Los Angeles and went inside one alleged cartel little storefront T-shirt joint and found $150 million. Look it up, your audience. Downtown LA, money found in the store, all cash.
Who found that?
Just thrown in the back. The police went over there and found it.
Man, listen, man.
That's the Kardashians don't have cash. They have what you call net worth.
Right. Okay.
Them bitches got bills. That's what they got. The fire was so bad that it hit Castro, the nigga that won the $2 billion lottery. It wiped out his Malibu house.
Damn.
Wiped it out. Cold. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
And then if you do look at it from a spiritual standpoint too, maybe it was, God clean the house, because all that evil shit that goes on there, all the gas, the gas prices, the expensive rent, just everything, like all that wicked shit, child trafficking, underground.
Listen, man, this is an even playing field now. It's so much money in California. Just black money.
Yeah.
Because there's no government in place. There's no law and order. There's no parity. And the ones they get the money from is the niggas. From the cars to the dope to the jewelry to the potato chips, the weed. Them is niggas. Nobody eats without black people. Nothing. Zero. Yo, fuck who you are. China got to send shit over here so you can feed them to sell to niggas.
Mm-hmm.
We spend billions in fucking weaves every year. Fingernail polish.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola.
Yep.
Because we own nothing. We just consume like pigs.
So this is why I say that, like, at any given time, if when I'm not gonna say if we do, when we wake up, because a lot of us are waking up now. Like, if we just all get on code, man, and we all can be rich immediately within a year. We could change, nigga, 6 months if we all get on code and just patronize our business.
Well, first of all, we're on code. See, it's the difference between, I don't know if you ever heard of a crime called identity theft.
Go ahead.
And when you do identity theft, you pretend you're someone else. So what happens is you got a lot of test tube babies that people don't even ask questions about running around the world as aliens, right? And these motherfuckers is running around that are niggas doing shit under the auspices of being black. See, black people have to separate from niggas.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you say speaking collectively, you know, because black unity is a group of integrated parts causing a common purpose of performing the operations called for in anything that we decide to execute. But as long as you got niggas and you got the NIA, the Nigga Investigation Agency, or the Inmate Enforcement Bureau, it's going to be difficult. So when you put those type of ideas out there, make sure that you apply it to black excellence.
Right.
And generational wealth. You can't. Everything is not all inclusive on this shit. Everybody can't go, like Nipsey say.
That's right.
Everybody can go. So if you stop with that bullshit, then we can get ahead. But if you with this, because I did 40 years of trying to unite niggas and black people.
Yeah.
I spent my whole life doing it. I've been to 350 gang-related funerals. I know a little bit about unity.
Right.
The biggest weapon that black people will ever have in this world, because black is not a people, it's a condition. The biggest weapon that a people that's conditioned can ever have is unity. That's bigger than a nuclear bomb.
That's right.
Not a hydrogen bomb, a nuclear bomb. You ever been to a party and you see all the black people getting along and dancing and smoking and drinking and humping and kissing and bouncing around and leave burning rubber and ain't nobody fight or get hurt? And the girls laughing.
It's an energy you can't describe. It's a beautiful ass feeling.
That's the fuse to the atomic bomb, bro. So stop making this motherfucking cruise all inclusive with these niggas.
Right.
They not black.
They niggas. That's right.
Niggas. And America made niggas, like my nigga Postman Nail say. America made niggas. So in conclusion, I'm gonna tell you like I always say. 8 times 45 is 360 degrees. 180 times 2 is 360. What goes around comes around, okay? And what you see now, as far as, for example, a hurricane. Hurricanes or tornadoes, I think it's hurricanes, they start in Africa. Then they travel along the same route that the slaves used to get to America.
That's right.
Then they hit the back door of America. You can see the slave exit routes to and from Africa from space. They don't put so many black people. Understand, audience, please listen to me closely why the game is sending these people to build. What they did to the people that y'all love called black people is unforgivable even by God's standards. They have violated every human right. Fuck a civil right. We have no civil rights because there's no civility. We trying to get our Magna Carta rights back as human beings.
All right.
Okay. They went after Michael Jackson because he had the Elephant Man bones in the Beatles catalog. They went after Jay-Z because he got the book for the Magna Carta or he got copies of it, whatever the fuck it is. Okay, they went after James Brown because he owned his masters. They went after Suge Knight because he owned his masters. They went after Puff Daddy because he owned his masters. They went after nigga, stop. You fucking with the devil. And this planet right here is just a waiting room to hell or heaven, nigga. Pick your poison. Because if this motherfucking cracker ain't the devil, he'll be a good substitute teacher until the real one get here.
God damn it. If I could drop a bomb, do I have a bomb sound on here? Hold that thought, bro. I think I do. God damn it, I think I do. Let me press play on that. Oh, they can hear it though. I gotta turn my volume down. Yeah, that's insane right there. That's a fact. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Um, shit. Well said. Anything else, man? Make sure you tell the people where to find you at. And everybody, please make sure you go follow my brother.
Well, you can find me in your prayers, and in the words of Tupac Shakur, when they turn out the lights, I'll be there in the dark.
Brother, I love you, man. You know I appreciate you, man.
I love you more, brother. And remember, a journey of 1,000,000 miles don't begin with one step. It begins with one thought. Because a nigga got to tell his feet to move.
That's a fact.
Put your family and your friends first and pray as much as you can when you piss and fucking shitting. Don't go for all that. Oh, I ain't praying. It don't work. Look, nigga. If you praying to the devil, you praying to something. If you praying to God, you praying to something. Keep your prayers up so you can keep your family safe and your own self and get longevity like my nigga has got thus far.
That's right.
Stop playing with your fucking prayers.
That's a fact. And I'm gonna pray right before I go to bed. And I pray more than I ever did too. So I thank myself for tapping into that spirit, to that zone. So absolutely.
You got to tap into a different vibration nowadays, and then you got to beware of the fact that this world, let me tell you this before I go. You can take 7 seeds and turn them into ink and add 7 to that. You can take all the trees and turn them into pins and add 7 to that. And you'll run out of ink and trees before you exhaust the wisdom of God. So everything belongs to the Most High. So to your people out there in the audience, man, you can pop it and stop it, but just remember something bigger than you, man. And a lot of motherfuckers did not expect to die today. They never thought it was that day. They never. I've been close to death a few times, and I said to myself, I know I am not fuck up out of here.
That's right.
If you've never been close to death before, sit your bitch ass down and pray. It's the coldest feeling that you would ever. It's like I went up in the air and I seen my body on the ground. And I was going, I had no control, and I was going up into like a light. And I never forget, I said, damn, I can't die today. I got shit to do. And then we did the gang truce.
Wow.
Telling your audience, I done been in fires, shootouts, all kinds of shit. If you ain't prayed up, you don't know when the hour gonna come.
That's right.
But when it do, even if it get close to the hour, it is the shock of your motherfucker. I don't even have a word to describe it. It's like the first thing coming to your mind is your family. Yeah. Children. Right. And then you be like, I'm the fuck up out of here. Right. Because I always said to myself, if that was God, bless me for even having this thought. But if that day was to ever come and I'm able to get a breath out, I always said that my last words would be, tell my kids I love them, and that's it. Well, I've been in situations with this gang shit, and I ain't gonna mention no locations or people, but we've been in situations where a gang member gets shot in the car. He got his homie on the driver passenger side, a baby in the back, and his eyes is rolling back of his head. His baby is in the back, and the nigga asking, I don't know if it's me, them, him, or who. That's not, I can't speak on that. What's up with my homeboy? How's he doing? Nigga, your baby in the back.
Right.
That's how loyal they be to their hoods.
Right.
Stay out of the streets, young people. Both of them niggas is gone.
Crazy. And let me add on just real quick, because since it's on my heart right now, because and everybody that's listening, it's enough people in here now, so thank y'all for tuning in. But even for myself, even though I got my family in this area where I'm at in North Carolina, but I'm still living in this house by myself. So I say all that to say, people that's living by themselves, definitely pray. Because what if you need that help and nobody is there? You know what I'm saying? And you
First
just
of all,
go ahead, brother.
first, not to cut your wisdom.
No, you
First
good.
of all,
You good, brother.
if you're blessed to live by yourself, that's a blessing.
Right.
The only thing is you have to create the synergy in your house that avoids all that. When you come into your house, you got to say peace, assalamu alaikum, what's up? You have to speak to the spirits that's in there. If you live by yourself, you have to take defensive measures to keep yourself on alert status at all times. Being by yourself does not mean that you're alone. It just means that you're an independent thinker. And that because of the energy fluctuations that you have that people may or may not agree with, you have to be by yourself in order to get to put a point where you can put everybody together. So sometimes isolation is good. Jesus was isolated, Moses, everybody. When you're alone by yourself, that means God is with you, because behind you is two other footsteps. So for people that's living alone, well, for females, the main thing is look in the bushes to see if it's hidden cameras. Make sure your doors is locked. Keep a knife in your hand with your keys. You know, a cup of gasoline or a cup of bleach in your hand, like coffee, when you go on a night by yourself. You know, you got to do defensive measures to keep yourself safe. And stop dating. The most dangerous shit right now for females, and I want my female sisters to listen. The most dangerous thing to you right now is not a Negro with a gun or a white man or some foreigner. The most dangerous thing to you right now is two things. A motherfucker that don't pray, and another son of a bitch that's got an STD or HIV.
I'm glad I got a healthy D. Pause for the pauses for you weirdos out there.
Listen to me, man. Keep your ass out of trouble. For you young niggas, put a rubber on your dick, because child support is a business.
Lord have mercy.
Child support is to keep your nigga ass without getting a passport. This is not an enlightenment. This is an indictment. The next one will be an enlightenment and not an indictment. But for you motherfuckers that's guilty, you stop running around and talking about the baby's cute, and you just trying to make these babies to these sisters, and they getting upset because you can't fulfill your obligation. Because a woman's job is to covenant. My man, my house, my baby, my car, my family. A man's job is to conquer. I take care of my kids, my wife. I beat that motherfucker's ass. I raced this nigga I won. You know, we the conquer. So when you get a woman, homie, that's a covenant type person, and she's in touch with her femininity, and you plant these babies in her, man, you got to fuck with her. The same door you come in, you came out of, hot and heavy. If you came in, Gentleman Joe, and you laughing and giggling, stop getting in the middle of the race and turn to an asshole like a little bitch. Because all of us was raised by females.
That's right.
So stop that little bitch shit. The same humor and all the texting back and forth, that hot and heavy shit you did in the beginning, keep that shit going, pimp. Like, I don't understand your boy lost a little bad little broad with all the bread that needs some guidance. What's this little broad name? Help me out. Cardi B.
Oh yeah, okay.
How you lose a bitch like that?
I thought that to myself too, because she, even though she was a stripper and all that stuff, but she seems like she's definitely a one woman's girl. You know what I mean? A one woman man.
No, that's not what it is, because she'll bring you home some pussy. Let me answer the question for you. The reason he don't got that little broad is because he couldn't take her to the next level spiritually and intellectually. Cardi B want to go build buildings. She want to go feed the poor. She want to go to the high schools and then help the kids. But if you got a nigga that's a narcissist is the most dangerous son of a bitch next to the devil. Let Cardi B run into a nigga like me that want to go deep cover and go feed the poor downtown, or build some homes for the black old people, or build a library or some shit. Them niggas can't take them bras to the next level. You can't take Nicki Minaj to the next level because your dick ain't gonna do it because they got bread. Remember, we got the most black millionaires in the history of us being in America right now, and they most of them under 40.
That's true.
In the history of slavery. P. Diddy can write a nigga a check right now for $50 million like it's nothing. So be thinking when you see them dudes like that falling off, it ain't because of his dick or he ain't loyal or she loyal. She'll bring you some pussy. You can't take that woman to the next level, and that applies to domestic shit too. The reason your woman tripping is because you can't take her to the next level. You can't take the next level to make her come. You can't take to the next level to make her laugh. You can't take to the next level and get her that motherfucking Birkin bag, that motherfucking Porsche truck. You can't do it. So they rebel against your ass. So step up or step back, because a nigga like Future, Chris Brown are gonna take your bitch from you.
Fast. Let me ask you. Go ahead, brother.
But they not gonna let you know. They just gonna take it, and some of them niggas pay. So you really in trouble.
Let me ask you this question, because me and you spoke about a lot of things in the past, but just for the people out there, and it's a lot of females that be in here too. But I would like to ask, can you explain far as the man and woman relationship and a man dealing with a narcissist woman and vice versa? Because I don't want to just pin it and point at the female, but can you explain a toxic relationship and dealing with narcissistic people and what to look out for?
Well,
and overcome.
First thing you want to do is to avoid a narcissist from the beginning to the middle to the end. Second of all, when you have a narcissist in your life, you must be aware of the fact that that's a schizophrenic motherfucker. They got multiple personalities. And when you got somebody that's selfish like that and think that there's a letter I in team and it's not, you're in for a rude awakening. It's just not if it's going to happen, it's when. So a narcissist, whether it be male or female, that's not even important. That's bullshit. What's important is that a narcissist will never give a fuck about nothing but themselves. Okay? They don't give a fuck if you live or die. As long as there's not, you know who narcissist was? Do you know where they got that word from?
No.
Narcissist was like a Greek god, right? Like a light-skinned type nigga that you knew in high school with good hair. And a narcissist used to go to the river every day and look at, because back then they didn't have mirrors. So narcissist used to go look in the river at his reflection of his face. Because back in them eras in the 1700s and shit like that, mirrors and looking into the sky was considered witchcraft. That's why they had that old saying, never fly into the sun with wax wings. So Mr. Narcissist, who was a real human being, was looking into the river at his face, you know, rubbing his chin and some more shit. And then he fucked around one day and fell in and drowned. So look up who Mr. Narcissist is first. Then you'll understand what a narcissist is. He don't give a fuck about himself. As long as he can see himself, he'll drown in his own foolishness. So when you got a narcissist, it's 6 billion people on the earth. And it's a thing called your soulmate. And 99% of human beings have not found their soulmate because the people that they're attached to are narcissists. So when they find their soulmate, the narcissist, he gets or she gets so extremely upset, they start yelling, "Little dick motherfucker, you broke, you's a bitch." What's the other shit they use when they want to fuck with you? I got my other baby daddy. You got to go on with your life because you only live twice. Once when you're born, once your black ass die. But if you sit around and live another nigga's life because you in love or for the children, you're doing yourself a disservice and you're in for a rude awakening. So if you find somebody and you're not compatible with, because anything worth arguing over is worth fighting over. And anything worth fighting over is worth killing over, according to the American way.
Mm-hmm.
There's no compromising. So why spend the rest of your life in a miserable ass relationship because you have what they call love survival's guilt, lover survivor's guilt? Fuck that bitch and his punk ass too, and get on and get your apartment by yourself.
And what if you have children by that person as well too? Because that could be an indefinite attachment to for life. Either y'all dealing with each other or not.
First of all, it's a dude in Africa that got 100 wives and 100 children. Look him up. Second of all, I look at life like this, and you can quote me on this. You ever heard of the Motel 6? What's their philosophy? We'll leave the light on, right? Leave your motherfucking light on. They gonna pull up to your door. I've been through that already. With my kids, I got to do it for the kids. But I got chill. I don't give a fuck. You still fucking. You got kids in your nuts. Nigga, they gonna be home. They gonna run right to your door. And when they little like that, they don't know what's going on and miss you that much. You see them enough and talk to them. Stop with that sucker shit. That keep you back. They gonna knock at your door. They definitely going to mama's house and grandma's house. But they gonna knock at your door. That's a trap that weak women use against strong men.
Mm-hmm.
It's called bringing the weakest shit to the strongest motherfuckers. That's weak shit. Because if she really gave a fuck about the kids and shit like that, she would have never had no problems. There would have been some compromising going on. When there's no compromising, that's the traits of a narcissist. Then they throw the babies out as shark bait. Then your conscience start fucking up my kids. Then another nigga go put pipe in there and you hear your son in the back. Where my daddy at? Mama, why we live so poor? That's a trap by the devil. Nigga, live your life. Go get you a Porsche. Lamborghini. Apartment building. The fuck you look like wasting your time? Is there a vacancy sign on your forehead? What the fuck you look like letting anything get inside and live for free?
Last thing, I swear, and that's my last one. Because my sister said at one point in time to me that I was addicted to chaos. What is your thoughts on a couple being, it's almost like a magnet, and you just so addicted to that chaos, you get sucked back into that energy until you really have that breakthrough moment where God separates y'all to whereas you could get your sanity back, so forth, so on. What's your thoughts about being addicted to chaos relationship wise?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna give you a two-party check on this so I can be fair.
Mm-hmm.
The shit that we did, I'm speaking collectively for men, no particular race.
Mm-hmm.
The shit that we did to women, well, let me start. It's a three-part prong. First of all, the first sin on earth was committed by a woman, Adam and Eve, according to the white man shit. Second of all, what we did to women as men and players and liars and strugglers and then being a product of America and raised on the white man's knee like a Negro, and we picked up his traits being nasty and infidels or whatever the fuck, and they took our kingship away from us when we can't have more than one wife. See, in America, you can marry a man, a dog, your cousin, but you can't have more than one wife because that'll mess up the divorce system when they get some bread. Mm-hmm. So when you're in a situation where you got a woman, this is the third part of that prong. A lot of people, male or female, have been abused so much to where they can't function unless there's toxicity in the relationship. Mm. Some females used to getting their ass whooped and slapped up by a nigga. See, the difference between a CEO and an employee is a CEO tell people what to do all day. And an employee, he's just a hoe. It's either you pimp or you a hoe. So you be told what to do. But when you catch them CEOs behind closed doors, like P. Diddy and them, then they somewhere getting tied up with S&M with a bitch telling them what to do because they tell people what to do all day, so they get tired of that shit. Hmm. So when you're in a relationship with some women that done been whooped on or y'all started out with a heavy hand and the shit wasn't right, a lot of these brothers is into that type of shit.
Right.
It don't be a yin and yang at that point. It just be toxic, and then it goes back to slavery. We wasn't taught to love each other. Nigga, we was taught to fuck our mamas, kill our brothers, beat that nigga up. So that shit is all part of our genetic makeup, unfortunately. But you got to accept the challenge to change. But a lot of times you run into females, I'm speaking as a heterosexual, sapiosexual to be exact. You run into some of these hoes, nigga, they ain't into no good man opening the door and how you doing today. They've been fucked off. I'm just keeping it real with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know why most bitches got side niggas? Because the nigga they fuck with don't slut them out.
Mm-hmm.
He choking her out, telling her what to do, make the bitch cook, fucking in the ass, slut out, and she go home. He said, baby, let me put it in. And then she tell him what to do all goddamn day long. But that young nigga in that Camaro and that motherfucking Cutlass or that SRT, he slut her out.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't slut, some of these bros want to get slutted out, nigga. And if you don't know what to do, you just fucked. Another nigga gonna take your bitch. Then some females want to get treated and get the girlfriend experience, the boyfriend experience. I mean, flowers and roses and candy and shit. And then the nigga that she got, he's slutting her out, but she don't like that. So you gotta find your soulmate, homie. And no nigga on this line done had more pussy than me. I'll call my wife and then tell you that.
Alright.
And then one of you niggas had more threesomes than me, and then one of you niggas had more pussy than me. Bring your bank book and shut the fuck up. Cause I got good hair, nigga.
Alright. Hey, man.
I done seen more pussy than a gynecologist, so get the fuck out my face. Yeah. Like that, in that order. I grew up in the baby boom era when they was circumcising the dicks to the side. These young niggas now got them circumcised dicks and straight shooters, nigga. They just bang, they passing the egg up. The baby boomer's dick was cut a certain way to hit that ovary. That's the era I grew up of. Long dick motherfuckers with the straight shooters, nigga, you ain't making no babies. All you handing out is what they call that shit again. They be having that shit, them little things, and they be trying to do black women and women of color when they have them cysts on their ovaries and shit like that. Stop using them fucking tampons. Stop using Johnson & Johnson. Stop letting that nigga hit you with them Trojan condoms on that got talc in it. You got babies in your motherfucking womb. Stay away from them savages. How about that? Come on, he cute. We go together. Yeah, we go together. Y'all gonna go together right to the clinic.
I hear that shit. Hey, man. Hey, I am pretty sure everybody definitely is appreciative of the gems that you dropped tonight. Everybody press 1 if you was feeling this live stream. Y'all been here the whole time, so thank y'all for chilling out and listening. I hope you learned something from all of this, and I hope the questions that I asked them had sparked something in you to recognize the situation that you may be in and know how to maneuver through that the right way or whatever. But brother, it's always been a pleasure, man. We definitely gonna do this again, and I appreciate you as always, brother.
No doubt, man. And in the words of Ice Cube, that nigga say, jumped off the plane. 4 gangbangers, professional crack slingers.
That nigga crazy.
Damn, this weed good. The niggas say St. Louis niggas want their corner back. Jumped off the plane. 4 gangbangers, professional crack slingers. You go from there, nigga.
All right,
on
man.
viral access, baby.
You already know, man. Stay up, bro. Love you. You already know, man.
Hey, loved one.
Yo.
I love you and thank you. And remember, St. Louis niggas want their corner back. Look it up. Good night.
Stay
to
up,
the ladies out there,
mm-hmm.
And to the ladies out there, kiss your babies, baby. Spend more time with your kids. And to the brothers out there, how you gonna love your hood more than you love God and your children? Nigga, I'm gone.
Well said. Peace, King. Yeah, man. That's real spill. I'm gonna definitely have to edit this one too. Um, yeah, man. So that's pretty much it, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed yourself. And let me see if there's anything else. And then I'm getting all the way out of here. Matter of fact, let me do my sidebars on my Instagram. We're gonna do some sidebars and then I am is out. All I ask y'all to do is please share this live. If you haven't already, it's not gonna kill you. It is not gonna kill you. Please share. Please share. Gladly appreciate it. Let me unshare this. Let's go here, man. Then I'm out. Okay, there we go. Hold on. Hold on, soldier. There we go. Okay. All right, let's do some sidebars real quick. Yeah, so these supposed to be one of the people that kind of started this. Oh yeah, it's no volume. So some of these people was allegedly, starting these fires too. So and some have been arrested as well. So I'm pretty sure y'all seen this already. But the question will be, why are you riding on a bike down the street with a blowtorch? It don't even make sense. So whatever happened to this guy, good for him. Let's keep it pushing. So we already know that a lot of our people have, invented a lot literally after slavery. So salute to Charles Baker. All right. Self-taught mechanical engineer who spent the majority of his childhood in slavery. He developed the first friction heater, which was patented in January of 1903. This is where all these radiators that we have, especially in the projects, that should be knocking and some water be coming out sometimes. Got to thank Charles Baker. And always remember, a lot of Caucasian people is going to hide the truth on our history. So there's some good white people out there. So I don't want y'all to think whatever, but they have to be a part of the problem if they're not telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because we are some great people. So, but let's keep it pushing. Let me make sure y'all can see that. Y'all seen that? Okay, y'all was able to see that. All right. Yeah, this the reparations. I will play that, but it's gonna take a long time. It's
you hear about
kind of long.
reparations, get this very firmly fixed in your mind. You're not here for a parlor discussion. It's not something to talk about that's nice. If you don't get reparations, black folk, you're through in this country. Let me be that very specific for you. You see, what's happening to black Americans is that black Americans have been systematically, socially engineered into the lowest level of a real-life monopoly game. You do not own and control a sufficient amount of anything to be competitive in America. And you've been marginalized now for 400 years. You're getting ready to be buried. You can get buried underneath a whole broad groups of ambiguous groupings. That's everything from culture groups, language groups, and gender groups. You're going down. It's no longer an issue. You better get reparations and get it fast.
People is not understanding this man have been fighting for us for 30 plus years and gave up on our people because we was not on code. We cannot think about everybody else when they care about themselves. So we have to understand, we have to really get on code. It has nothing to do with being divisive or racist or a radical group. We have to stop letting other people define our movement or our plight. It has nothing to do with being divisive or racist or a radical group. Nobody wants us to wake up and get on code. We have been programmed to go against each other and has worked. They have plans that they have been put in place for decades, and this guy been on the forefront for 40 plus years. 40 plus years, having bills passing, everything. Every other culture is in for self. for the betterment of their people. We don't call them divisive. We just patronize their stores. We don't call them divisive or a radical group. We just go patronize their business and befriend them. Ain't nothing wrong with being befriend or growing up with somebody from a different culture and you love them and this, that, and the third, but they out to make sure they get their own and hire their own. This shit is socially engineered on why we are in the position that we're in. And you know what? I'm going to end on this. I'll let this play out.
Now, to get reparations, one of the things I've been trying to do now for 30 years, beginning with the state of Florida, when Governor Rubin Askew put me over education, when they had no blacks in politics in Florida, was to write the first affirmative action plan in the United States, and that was written to be reparations for black folk in 1971. And George Bush Jr., I guess, Jeb Bush just killed it off about 6 months ago. But what's happening now is that what I'm trying to do is create a Harvest Institute that will try to take all my colleagues here and as much as possible try to give you new points of information that take you outside the box. Part of the problem we got in trying to deal with reparations, a lot of the other racial issues in the country, is that we keep trying to think and find solutions inside the box. There are no solutions inside the box for black folk. You got to get outside and try to find and get a long-term perspective and a long view on it. And that's what the Harvest Institute is in existence for, and that's what they're going to stay in existence for. Now, the reason you cannot win, as I said, is that you've been locked into this low level of a real-life monopoly game. You do not own and control enough of wealth. See, in 1860, for instance, black folk, as a direct result of slavery, had an ownership. When you were 98% slaves, you had an ownership of 1/2% of this nation's wealth in 1860 on the eve of the Civil War. Now, this is the richest country in the world, the most capitalistic country in the world. And here you are 140 years after slavery when you're supposedly 100% free and you still only have 1/2% of this nation's wealth. You cannot compete. The typical average white person in America has 3,500 times more money than you have. That's not true only of blacks in America, it's true of the world internationally. What's happening right now is blacks is a marginalized, subordinated class of people all over the earth. You have 1/2% of the wealth in this nation. The same thing is true all over the world. In the world, there's approximately $392 trillion worth of wealth on the earth. And black folk around the world have less than 1% ownership of it. That includes all the African countries, that includes Brazil, Caribbean, and America. You don't own enough control of anything. Whites control almost 100% of all the wealth, power, resources, privileges, and controls of all levels of government. You're playing a game you can't win. You got to get reparations. Now, how are you going to get it? Let me run through 3 or 4 things very quickly because I don't want to take up the time here. First thing you must do, I've heard it mentioned already, we got to commit a national campaign all over this country to start publicizing the issue of reparations for black folk. Not as something nice, but as a necessity, period. That means every living soul, every organization, every court, every institution in this country must begin to start promoting reparations for black folk all over this country. That's level 1. It's a massive promotion of reparations for black folk. Second level 2. What we must do at second level 2 now is to start having fact-finding hearings. You must have fact-finding hearings all over this country. And you're going to have fact-finding hearings on at least 2 different levels. One is you're going to go out fact-finding about what roles governments have played in the reparations, in the slavery trade against black folk, and the enslavement of black folk, the marginalization of black folk. And that should break down into 2 levels. One is to investigate all levels of domestic governments, that's city, county, federal, and state governments. And the second group would go after international. So you should have 2 groups of black folk in this country exploring and fact-finding on what roles government have played, one domestically and one internationally. On the left-hand side, you should be doing the same thing for the domestic side. You should be going after the private sector. You should be going after all the private corporations in the United States, what roles they played and how they benefited directly from slavery. And also, on the same side, you must go after all the international corporations and the roles they played and how they benefited. Now, the Harvest Institute right now, my think tank, we've already picked up one. We put out a press release on that. We are going after domestic role that major corporations played in the United States. We've already identified approximately 240 companies that are still in existence that profiteer directly and enrich themselves off of black folk. We're going after that. And what we have to do in our fact finding is be able to factuate, document the direct line between how blacks have been crippled all the way up to economically, politically, socially, and educationally, and tied into these major corporations or tied into levels of government. That's your level 2. Level 3, you must then start having a national convention in this country. And right now, I think Dorothy Tillman in Chicago is already, we talked about this. She's going to try to call one in Chicago this coming year. We must have everybody who's playing a role, like Congressman Conyers and everybody from the Congress and Cobra, everybody should be at a national convention where we all come in there to not only energize each other, but to share information, see where we are. They're trying to set it up for this coming February, someplace in the United States, possibly Chicago. That's your third level.
Oh, excuse me.
Fourth level you start doing is trying to get into out of this conference should come strategies and plans and a specific role model. You got to have a model that every black can tie into, a model for reparations. Now, my model is a little different from everyone else's, and that's because I'm outside the box. I'm trying to pull everybody else outside if I can get it. Now, most people are going to try to follow the Jewish reparations model or the Japanese model. I'm following the Indian model. The Indians are the most appropriate model if you want to track down, do anything to get reparations to black folk. Why? Because you see, only American Indians and black folk are spelled out in the Constitution. The Indians own reservations and black folk. There's a direct lineage between those two groups. And if you really want to track and get reparations, the easiest and quickest way is to go find out what happened to American Indians, what benefits they got, and track it. In my new book called Power Numbers, it takes you through every one of those steps. You can follow it. If you pick that up, you can come right to reparations very quickly, because it'll be very difficult for the government to deny black folk the same thing they're giving the Indians. So when you hear people talking about how bad off Indians are, first thing you say, fine, if Indians that bad off, put us as black folk in the same status with the Indians. We'll take that. Because see, right, what Indians got, first of all, nobody declared Indians to be a nation. Indians declared themselves to be a nation. Mm-hmm. They declared themselves to be a nation all the way up to about 1832 when Supreme Court Justice Marshall said, okay, I'll recognize you as a nation. We never declared ourselves to be a nation. We've always tried to do just the opposite of what the Indians did. Once they became a nation, they drew up a constitution for themselves. We never had a constitution. And what the Indians did with that constitution is then to go to the United States government and say, we do not want to integrate. We did just the opposite. We integrated. And I can track everything right down, or we can follow the Indian model if you want to. And you can see, and all that's already built into the law, and there's a direct lineage between American Indians and black folk that you can follow very easily and get to reparations. But we need to have a model. And in my new book, I get that model to be on the stand in about another month. You get the Power Numbers model that take you through all those steps, what they did throughout history, from the Blair Amendments and everything else. You can track it very easily, and it'd be very difficult for the United States government to deny you reparations when you only two people that have a constitutional relationship with this government is black folk and Indians. Just like Indians use what they call natural rights to lay a claim against the land, we should use natural law and lay a claim against our labor, misappropriated labor. The next level what you must do is move to a legal step. You need to form at the fourth level, get you a legal body right now, whether it's going to be pro bono or paid. And out of our convention, we should be able to raise some funds to set up a mass legal body that be ready to start serving suits based on those facts that you're going to find at the second level. And we start finding those, then we should have people going after suits. One side suing the different levels of government, the other side suing the private sector to get reparation funds for black folk. Then at the last level, you need to set up, at the sixth level, you need to set up some kind of a pool or resource or retrieval agency that every time we get some benefits, we're going to a special fund that will be held for pooling and aggregating. Now, then out of that special agency, we break away into two groups, what I would recommend. One, you would have an economic development bank on the East Coast and an economic development bank on the West Coast. And what those banks would do is take most of the money you get and not give it to black folk as individuals. You put it into a massive bank for black folk, go draw that money to start low interest, get low interest loans or free money to build businesses and industries throughout the United States. You also, if you track the Indians, you should try to get yourself some tax-free or tax-exempt land. Just like Indians can go grab any piece of land and federalize and put up a casino, you tell me you want to do the same thing as a black person, get tax-exempt statuses. We can go on and on. But there's a lot of things we can track. Go after the Indians. But the thing that's most important, I'm going to quit, is that you got to understand that reparations are an absolute necessity. We're going to get buried alive. We do not have enough to be able to compete in this society. And the further we get away from the civil rights movement, the worse things are going to get. And when people start talking about slavery, don't just talk about slavery. Talk about Jim Crow slavery and benign neglect. You got to understand what slavery was. Slavery is the illegitimate child of racism. Racism still exists. That's slavery. Because what racism does, racism keeps and maintains what was created by slavery. Now, racism is a competitive economic struggle between groups of people for power and wealth. And it's slavery, and racism never existed until the 16th century. And when slavery went out of existence, racism took over. Racism had gone from meaning slavery to being something biological. Then it moved on in about the 1800s. It turns to be something as a personal behavior or an attitude, and now a bias and a prejudice. Racism has nothing to do with attitudes, with prejudice, and with bias. Racism is a competitive group contest between people for race, resources, and for superiority. And racism is a race without a finish line. I thank you very much.
That shit is real spill. And he spent his whole life trying to convince black people, and a lot of us was on code, but then it just fizzled out. He gave up on black people. I'm going to say niggas because it's a lot. It's a lot. We just living in a time where, you know, we really have to wake up. So I don't know, but you know, just certain people need to we all need to get on code, but I think a lot of us just look at this stuff just for entertainment and just forget. So I don't know. Hopefully certain people take this and create some movements, all the tactical things, all the bullet points that he just said. I think we need to take that and run with it. So hopefully some people with big voices can make sure those things happen as well, put those things in place too, you know, not just talking. So, but anyway, I've been here long enough.